We're here today for the public hearings for the 2027 to 2031 capital improvement plan budget request. The City Planning Commission is required under section 5402 of the Home Rule Charter to prepare a 5-year capital improvement plan for the city of New Orleans and to assist in the preparation of the city's annual capital budget. For anyone who's watching this, we apologize. Earlier, we were supposed to be recording additional hearings, and we found out later that the stream that we were recording on wasn't working, so we apologize for those technical difficulties, and we'll do our best to provide all the information and the notes from those hearings. But today we're going to move forward with EMD. We're going to do a round of introductions, and then we'll hear the presentation. My name is Laura Bryant. I'm in City Planning Commission.
I'm Haley Webb. I'm also in City Planning Commission. Cameron Boisier, City Planning Commission.
Larry Massey, City Planning Commission. Kyle Holman for the capital budget.
Kim Delores Jr., CAO, I'm CAO's office, Assistant CAO of Operations.
Miguel Viteri, Capital Projects, Project Manager.
Deidre Oaks, Capital Project Manager.
Great, and you can go ahead and get started.
Alright, so, what we did was we submitted based on our needs for capital, and, the number one priority we have right now is our heavy duty side, needs to be renovated. I think in 2023, we had about $5 million set aside just to get it started, and it has not. The bathrooms are terrible, the lighting is terrible. There was a building that was built, I believe, at the end of 2022, which is our light duty building, which can cover our light duty equipment. It could fit a fire truck in there, but it cannot handle our fleet size. So we still operating on our heavy duty side, which was declared by FEMA. We wrote it off, but still a good building, it's still in good shape. We had some money last year or year before where we did a design through civics, engineering, and they began to talk about that repair. So the first phase would be somewhere around, $19 million to get that back operational. That's really all I need. And if we got the full building operational with the offices, you'll see line 6 would be the other 14 million. So we really want to get the full building back online, which would be a good thing for the city. But also, my employees are working in deplorable conditions, backed up plumbing, lighting's terrible, but they're doing an excellent job. We just was recently named again to the National Association of Fleet Administrators 3 years in a row, top 100 list. It's never happened in the city's history to make it even one time. But since I started over there, we made it in 2024, 2025, and just recently were named to the list on 2026. So I think that should be rewarded. And in order for us, the fleet is the center of operations for the city. You don't have fire trucks operational, ambulances, police cars, street sweepers. You don't have morons. We can't respond. We can't do those things that we need to do. So those folks, that's the heavy equipment side. That is where your fire trucks, your ambulances, your dump trucks, all of that big stuff is worked on inside of that building, and those folks work hard. That is what I mean. We have a bond sale coming up, and then we have another one coming up with Kyle. So and he doesn't control the list, but we need to get part of these facilities on that list, even if it's not the full amount. And Miguel, even Jerry can figure that piece out. The next part is just we have to continue to remain in compliance with fire trucks. We have to buy fire trucks, and on the basis that replaces the fleet to keep the average fleet under 15 years. If not, we lose certifications. That is, Chief Roman could tell you more details about it, but that is clearly what this is. It's just straight up fire trucks and heavy equipment that keeps our fleet within compliance. And so we have orders online. I think Kyle talked about, I don't remember when the timeline is, but this is pretty much phased out on how we would need that cash to be given out. And historically, bonds have paid for it. You got a question?
Yeah, how old is the oldest truck that y'all have?
Oh, we got one that's from like 1960, but that's for antiques.
Sure.
But probably they have like a 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still be used?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least as a backup, because they go down.
Yeah.
So you can't have them going down. Then the next one is, in order to get the infrastructure in place to get electric vehicles based on the ordinance that was brought in, unless the ordinance changed, this is to support that ordinance. you cannot do electric vehicles without infrastructure. It was assessment done by the resilience. These numbers come directly from that Office of Resilience report. It's probably more now today. Everything costs more now today. But these were the estimates at the time on what we needed to do so. The next one is our heavy equipment for EMD, which is gonna be like a telehandler forklift and a couple of heavy duty trucks that allow us to respond to emergencies and handle Mardi Gras specific issues, to help put out barricades and things of that nature. Like since the terrorist attack, we now have to put up cement barricades. Now I've been renting one. I think it cost me $15,000 this year. It cost me $12,000 last year. We need our own. It's just one that we had. The last one we had broke down. It was in 2016. Cost $85,000 to repair. It's not a good investment to go back into to fix that. So we need another telehandler repair. I think Matt submitted for his other equipment, so that I didn't put it in mine this year. So I'm advocating for street sweepers on his behalf. His request is very important. That is an Asian thing, and anybody know about Mardi Gras? The reason that we're invested in where we're doing it is because immediately after parade we clean up. But we need street sweepers to do that. And we keep putting them together with bubble gum and duct tape. And I know we have a lot of priorities as it relates to capital dollars, but you cannot forget about your operations. And that's the heart of the city. So that's all I have. Take any questions at this time.
I'm a little curious, Ken, about your future plans for the old equipment maintenance of the garage and like your fleet vision for it. It sounds like you're doing some heavy equipment repairs in that currently.
That's all we do with it, is heavy equipment. So originally, I think we might have spent $5 or $6 million on a facility that became a light duty facility. I think it envisioned that we thought that it could be, but I don't think anybody understood the true scope of what happened there. Right? I came from capital projects and we're all people and processes. And when I got there, I could immediately see that there was no way. I did assessment on 2,600 vehicles. What we had, what comes in and out, we wouldn't even have enough stalls to handle the workload that comes in. So you need two builders in general, right? Short of, we want to do an analysis, like I said, civics came in and engineering, so we do need a building. I got people sitting on top of each other upstairs in the office there, so we did end up renovating the office. I would sit over there, instead of, and give that to some of my managers to sit upstairs. And I got 3 people downstairs. We make it work. I mean, it's just how it is, but in the vision, that heavy duty side should be the administrative staff should be over there as well. It used to be that, right? Before Katrina. Katrina destroyed it. It was declared, we gave it up for FEMA, we condemned it, but we've never stopped using it. We've never stopped using it. So kind of to clean it up and put some light bulbs in there. But my vision is to have both of those operational. We may need to look at that being some of the electric stuff that's gonna come online. We wanna look ahead for the city's vision and include some of the electrification stuff that needs to go in there. It's a huge property, and it could handle that. So eventually, that's just the future of operations for the city, right? And that building is probably a much better building, even the one that I'm in long term. So.
I kind of asked this question to Matt, but it was probably better answered by you.
Yeah.
So EMD now has like an asset management system for the fleet. Like, are there ways that the system can prioritize like which equipment is
Yes.
the highest need?
Yeah, so we're working on that, Kyle, and it's a lot that goes into right sizing the fleet and deciding, hey, what comes out. Right now, we do a pretty decent job of deleting vehicles. We hadn't before, but we do delete vehicles and get them out. We can see now, based on the data that we have over the last 2 years, what's gonna be failing, right? The problem is the city has never, since I've known it, I did research on it, never had a fleet fund, right? There's no fund that replaces fleet. Typically, what we do is we get a big pot of money and we buy a bunch of cars. That's not how it should work, right? We should be cycling out cars somewhere between, based on the size of our fleet, somewhere between $6 million to $7 million. Even if we started with $2 million a year, and replacing equipment, it would at least dedicated, that would help us out tremendously. Right now, it's zero. There is not a dollar dedicated on an annual basis, which is against every best practice in every municipality. So, yes, our system would tell us, but it has never been funded that way. Remember the Chase lease before that, and then when they bought those Tahoes, and then we just got the ARPA money to get the Durangos, and if we get a bond sale, we'll buy, but there's not a strategy. I have a strategy in place, but it's not funded, and I know right now, under our current terms, we're just trying to keep our staff here, and we're trying to work where we have to, but that is definitely something in the future that we have to consider. We have to do a fleet fund, whether that's a department giving 1.5% or 2% of their budget to the fund, however we decide to do it. I've seen it many ways, and when I go to these conferences, that's how we got good so fast. And we didn't know about a fleet management system until we went there. We didn't know about telematics until we got there, or Wex Fuel Administration, which you've seen a lot of these different rollouts, which has improved our fleet dramatically, but we're at a cliff right now. Our 2023 Durangos will be losing their warranties this summer, and I don't know what's about to happen, but we don't have a true place of replacement. Do I know what needs to be replaced? Yes. Kyle, the answer question is, do I have the system and funding at least systematic? But it's not yet. And that's something that I'm hoping that we can at least start to discuss in the near future. But this light duty stuff is not honorable, so that's not a capital thing, right? But everything above that 250 and above is a capital thing, so capital could contribute for heavy equipment. But the people that need it the most probably is fire. Police. Right? Police use their vehicles the most, they have the most wear and tear on their vehicles. They are constantly using. One thing we did do was, give everyone a take-home vehicle for police. That has extended the life of vehicles. People take more ownership of their vehicles, and they take care of their vehicles better when they take them home. So that will extend it. Some, because now that's a vehicle that they have to use.
I have a question. It says that the best practice should replace about 10% of the fleet each year.
Mhm.
Do you have an idea of how many you plan to replace with the first year's funding, second year funding? If you were told on
I didn't put that on here because those are not capital, but I was saying we want to replace between 200 and 250 vehicles a year. Because remember, that's light duty stuff, so that would not be a capital expense. So those Durangos and Explorers that you see would have to come from another funding source. But the NOFD, it was like an analysis done on theirs. They put like buying like 3 or 4 fire trucks a year. Because 27 would be a big one because they got to do it. But other than that, it's like $1.5 million a year for a fire truck.
Yeah.
The ladder trucks or more. Anything else?
I don't have anything.
Typically, right, with those, like the trucks, fire trucks, even if you buy it this year, it's what, a year or two out?
It's a deal, right? So it's timing of the cash.
3 out.
Yeah, sometimes 3 years.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember one time when I was over the capital budget, we got lucky and got some demos that were out there. We were able to get those under Chief Tim McConnell, he's back now. But we were able to move some money around and get $2 for $1 million.
Yeah, I just remember.
Typically the bill,
It's a long
it's a
lead.
long lead, yeah. But we have to prepare for it and know that the pipeline is coming to bill where we do.